The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Moments of adversity, moments of triumph. This is where Immortals are born.
Hi, my name is Rick Bickle, otherwise known as the Warchain, and I am a promo artist for the arts of wrestling.
Well, hello everybody, it is your Michelin star. It is me, Jarvis Hudson. I am the one in arts of wrestling that portrays the top chef.
I remember watching Saturday mornings, the old NWA, the birth of WCW. I remember as a small child, my mother and father scraped together what little bit of money they had because they knew how much it meant to me, and took me and my little brother to the Dorton Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I got to see Sting and Luger and Flair and so many more others. Flying Brian Pillman. I could go on, man. And I was probably 9, 10 years old, maybe. And I was obsessed with it ever since.
I would have to say that I fell in love with wrestling between the ages of maybe 3 and 5, because there's certain things I could remember from certain years and certain things I can't. But around that era, around the Yokozuna and Undertaker beef, around that type of era right there. And if I had to pick a couple of superstars that influenced my promo style, I would have to say definitely The Rock and Booker T. Those were the two guys I just thought that I could come out just like them and cut promos and be this badass just like them. And don't forget a dash of The Godfather. Those three would be bits and pieces I would take to bring together the Top Chef's character.
I never really thought about it as a child until I got into my teenage years, and I wanted to be, now you're going to get a kick out of this one. I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be an actor, among many other things. And wrestling really didn't come into play as far as what I wanted to do until I got to about 18, 19, 20 years old, and that's when I really wanted to try my hand at it. And me and a good friend of mine actually started hanging around. We were the hang-arounds at the local events, 30, 45 minutes away from here where I live now. And finally hooked up with some guys, started training, and it lasted all of about 2 seconds before we realized that it just wasn't for us. We wasn't making any money. Had to move on, get a career or something with a retirement that we could build a family around. So he went his way, I went mine, and the rest is history.
Man, I wanted to be a variety of things, from a video game designer, a social worker, probably depending on what I was into at the time or whatever I was interested in, whatever caught my attention, I switched it up, whatever I wanted to do. Being a wrestler was a part of it. Most wrestling fans do want to be a wrestler, but there was a part of me that didn't want to take away the fan aspect of it. So I was like, man, if I'm a wrestler, then it won't feel the same, the fan aspect. So that was kind of what kept me torn in my decision on being a wrestler or not growing up. But ultimately, I became a chef. Look at that.
I've got to give all the thanks in the world, honestly. Dustin King with WCW. We Collect Wrestling. That organization and that individual, I think a lot of, and they were holding a tournament. We have, some groups have tournaments, some groups are all the time. And I thought, what the hell? I'll throw my name in, see what happens. I love wrestling. I can do this. And as time went on and as I grew in that tournament, I actually ended up winning their championship. And that was my first official promoing, if you want to call it that. That was my first official matches and stuff like that. And I was fortunate enough to walk out as the champion, and we haven't really looked back since.
Well, probably like most people, I noticed different groups doing different things. I saw different artists promoing, doing their thing, and I was like, man, that's dope. I wanna kind of jump in and get some of that action a little bit, So it took me a while, and I practiced in the mirror first, practiced talking and doing this and that, doing what I wanted to do, and then I finally, got in a couple groups, jumped in. I went in head first, boom, popped my videos up, boom, boom, boom. I was in there. And then this all led me here today. I'm in Arts of Wrestling, trying to take the top shelf to the top.
Why should I be the face of the Arts of Wrestling? Because when I do something, I'm all in. I believe in the Arts of Wrestling. And you can believe in me. Now, the Warchain talks all kinds of stuff. We all know the Warchain. But Rick, the man behind the character, doesn't stop. I don't quit. I don't care what's in my way. I don't care who it is, how it is, and the reason behind it. I don't quit. I will be your elite champion. And that's a fact. And I'm going to carry this company on my back and proudly display my enthusiasm for not only the elite championship, but the Arts of Wrestling and every soul that comes through the door to be a part of it. We are the Arts of Wrestling. However, I am the elite champion. You guys just don't know it yet. But it's all good. It's all good. At the end of the day, everybody's going to get their shot. I'll be a fighting champion. I want the best that you have to offer. I want the absolute best. And I'm either going to get it given to me, or I'm going to take it.
So, Arts of Wrestling, you want to know why I think I should be the face of Arts of Wrestling? Well, I think I should be the face because I'm one of the most unique, one of the most original characters out there. I can be funny, comical, I can be a badass, I can take it in different directions. The top chef, he can step in the ring with anybody and give a 5-star match. I can go toe-to-toe with the best of them. I bring it all out. I put it all on the line, every single promo I put out there. It's me. I'm genuine. I'm not just stealing something here, doing this there, or just bullshitting around. When I jump in front of this screen, it's all action, baby. I'm putting 100% effort. And that's why I should be the face of the company, because I will put 100% effort on putting the weight of the company on my shoulders and taking it to where it needs to go. Well, it looks like I got Warchains. Hell, it might as well be Warchain, especially with that old tired ass crap you putting over there. I done seen that plenty of times before. We ought to call you the company thief. You think you're the only one walking around here with chains around your neck? I know you got that one. Just like you stole the NWO 90s gimmick, that was an epic fail. Because let's face it, your partner just up and left you. Everybody know you was just riding his coattails trying to scoot to the top anyway. Who you think you fooling? You ain't do nothing but carry his jockstrap to and from the locker room. Boy, please. What you gonna do now? You gonna go steal the NWO Wolfpack gimmick? Try to go recruit some more guys so you can hop on their coattail and hopefully scoot to the top? Ain't gonna happen around here. We're gonna have to start an AOW loss prevention just to keep an eye on you. But that's far beyond the point. The point is, let me tell you why Top Chef is far beyond Warchains. I am far beyond the rest because every time I step in front of this camera, every time I step foot in that ring, I put everything out there, I leave everything on the line, and I leave it all in the ring. My whole 100% of my heart goes into everything I do. So when I step in front of that crowd and you hear my name, you hear them chanting, Top Chef, Top Chef, Top Chef. That's me. I did that. Warchain can't do that. He can't produce that reaction that I can. Because everybody in the universe knows Top Chef, he has everything it takes to climb to the top. He has everything it takes to put that strap around his waist and move forward. And people like you, Warchain, you just in the way. Because we all know, people like you don't succeed in this company. You don't succeed because you too much worried about dirty panties. Go to your nearest gentleman's club. This ain't the place for you. But Top Chef, this is the place. I'm the person everybody knows they need, or I'm the person that people didn't know that they needed. Because I can carry this company to where it needs to go. I can carry arts of wrestling all the way to the top because Top Chef, I am Mr. Original. And you, my friend, are just Mr. Imposter. Get out of my face. You just been 86.
Finally, the time has come. The time has come for the Top Chef to take on the walking Warchain, the measuring stick, the promo god. And I got to thinking, where have I heard Top Chef? Where have I heard or seen Hell's Kitchen before? All I had to do was turn on my TV. See, son, you're nothing but a cheap knockoff. You don't have a creative bone in your whole damn body. Standing around in the junkyard of a kitchen talking about 86ing people. See, that's the talk of a minion, of a lower class. That's the man who cooks hash browns and cheeseburgers. So get your ass in there and do so right now. And you better not mess it up, because if you do, I'm going to drive my ass down there and come looking for you. See, son, after tonight, you're going to be like the rest. You think somehow, under God, that you're somehow elite, that you're a champion, that you can even possibly dream of being the face of the arts of wrestling. The only thing you are is a 250-pound chipmunk-looking son of a bitch with a brain about the size of a walnut. And that's me being nice, Medea's little brother. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. I have waited a long time for this moment. A long time. See, I watched all your little jazz concerts. I watched all your little bullshit. But son, when's the last time you saw a chef walk out to the wrestling ring in a full-on chef outfit and a Chef Boyardee hat? It hasn't happened. 2K, be damned. Your ass is finished as of right now. There's a guy, a little Canadian bitch on the other side of you who's going to at least have something to throw across the aisle. And no matter how damn corny it is, I know he'll show up and put his whole ass in, which is a hell of a lot more than I can say for the top chump. You're a knockoff, a ripoff, an unoriginal punk who stands around talking shit that he can't back up. I am the Warchain. I am the measuring stick. I am arts of wrestling. I don't turn it off. 100 miles an hour, 24/7, 365. And like I said before, you have messed up. So now you are the latest victim and latest name to get scratched off the hit list and get got by the Warchain himself. And it's time to move on. It's time to hang up that little gi you're wearing there and take your ass back to McDonald's where you belong. So you never know when or where the Warchain's gonna show up next. You never know what I'm gonna do next. But one thing you can take to the bank, one check your ass can cash is that I'm always moving on, and I am taking the Elite Championship. Next!
Maté Production.
Art Society, let me officially welcome you to Day of Immortals. It has begun. Road to Millennium, only 2 days away. And now at Millennium, we know one of the guys going into the finals, into the Elite Championship Tournament finals. The winner of that will move on to face the Foulmouth Aussie for the championship. Successful match, Warchain, Top Chef, bravo for the both men. Phenomenal promos. Definitely a hard one to judge. Top Chef, nothing to be ashamed of. Phenomenal effort, phenomenal promo. Hope to see more of him in the future. But moving on, Warchain is now going to face either the Crippler or CT Hellion in the next match. But before we get on to that, I know we were supposed to have a battle royal to determine the top 2 contenders to face off for the Intermediate Championship. There were so many people that were interested in being a part of the Battle Royal, so many top contenders, so many top names that we actually wanted to push it back to this Saturday Millennium. So some people can have the opportunity to join, submit their promos, and become a part of history. So, officially announced, this Saturday is when we will see a Battle Royal. The top 2 contenders will face for the Intermediate Championship this coming Monday, and Monday night, Mike, that should be a historic moment in itself. Intermediate Championship, a very important championship here in the Arts of Wrestling. It will be the Workhorse Championship title, so stay tuned for that. It just adds to the excitement that's going to be Millennium. Now we also have confirmed Bruiser Bronson will be going one-on-one against the returning Dennis Molinex, the American Psycho. And we also have an exciting new match announced. Slim Trimmins will go on against the Arts of Wrestling's newest acquisition, Michael Scars, as well as one of the most anticipated match in the Arts, Genesis, to go one-on-one with Barrett Laveau. You might see an extra match or two in the Millennium card. Can't wait for that. But right now we have questions. Who will move on to face Warchain at the finals of the Elite Championship Tournament? Who is going to prevail? Who's going to come out on top? Well, without further ado, before we get to that match and find out who moves on forward, let's find out a little bit about our promo artists. Canadian Crippler, Chris Radford, CT Hellion. Here we go.
CT Hellion, the promo artist.
Hey, this is Chris Radford, and I am a promo artist here in the Arts of Wrestling, and I am better known as the Canadian Crippler. I was actually born in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada, hence the nickname, the Canadian Crippler.
When I was a kid, I can't really tell you a specific memory or anything like that, but growing up, I obviously had one big influence, I would say, into who I became as far as in the wrestling world, and that's got to be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Next to him, I would say probably along the lines of The Undertaker or Roddy Piper. The big Triple H fan growing up. I love the heavy metal he came out to. There's one moment that I can specifically remember, and that's that return Triple H did when he came back after he blew his quad out, had the jean jacket on, and everybody was losing their minds. That was an awesome moment in wrestling history.
I actually started watching wrestling in about 1983. I started watching Georgia Championship Wrestling with Gordon Soley and happened to be introduced to a brand new tag team at the time. You may have heard of them. They were called the Road Warriors. After that, I absolutely fell in love with wrestling and fell in love with the Road Warriors. Have loved the Road Warriors ever since. My character, the Canadian Crippler, is heavily influenced by the Road Warriors, especially Road Warrior Hawk. He was my favorite of the two Road Warriors. Loved them both, of course, but Hawk was always my favorite. He just was amazing, and unfortunately we lost him, and I still kind of celebrate his life every day in my character and through my character.
Yeah, I pretty much always knew growing up that I wanted to get into pro wrestling, and I have succeeded so far in life. Not a household name yet, but I'm a name. But yeah, pretty much growing up, I always kind of knew that this is what I was meant to be.
So as I started watching wrestling in 1983, I became more and more addicted to it and watched it more and more as much as I could. So of course the next natural thing was I wanted to become a wrestler. When I told my parents at some point that I wanted to become a wrestler, at the time wrestling wasn't really that cool like they make it out today and everything, but my parents basically told me that if I became a professional wrestler that they would disown me. So I guess I kind of chose my parents over wrestling. God rest their soul. I wish I'd have become a wrestler. It would have been great.
Actually, a few years ago, or months ago, I should say, not years, a friend of mine, Haystacks, reached out to me, telling me that he wanted me to become part of this group, and that's when I knew that this was an actual thing, this promo game. Before that, I competed in spot tournaments here and there. Didn't know there was actual companies dedicated just to this. So yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
I actually got started in the promo world in the boiler room. I was in the room because I had bought some belts and had become friends with one of the admins there, and he invited me into the room, and I started watching some of the promos that they were doing and just thought to myself, hey, I could do that. I've been watching wrestling for a long time. I could come up with a character and try to do this whole promo thing. So I really enjoyed it, and I do thank the Boiler Room for letting me get my start in there, and couldn't be happier with where I'm at now. So absolutely love being in the arts and being a promo artist. It's great. It's a real kick in the pants for me.
I'm not your typical superstar. I'm not real cut up, big. I'm also big, pretty easy to see. Realistically, why should I be the face of arts of wrestling? It's legitimacy. I bring something to this table that nobody in AOW is going to bring. I bring a level of violence that nobody's going to bring. And I bring something special character-wise that I can outright promise that the fans have never seen before. And for me to be the face of the AOW, it's only going to make it that much better.
So the last question that was kind of asked of us was basically, why should I be the face of the arts of wrestling? That's a really easy question for me to answer. The answer is simple. Why should I be the face of the arts of wrestling? Because I am the face of the arts of wrestling. Any questions?
Canadian Crippler. I don't know you, and you don't know me. But you're going to get real introduced real quick.
I'm the American Viking, CT Hellion. These runes I have carved in the side of my head paint the future for AOW. They paint a future of success for me. They paint a future of demise for you. Now, I came into this tournament nobody. Distant places, brought in on a whim. And I'm already reigning and pillaging all over AOW. I have respect for anybody that steps in front of this camera. What I don't have respect for is victims. And that's exactly what you are going to be, Canadian Crippler. Because you cannot cripple me. And I will make sure that you do not make it past me in this round. Now, you can ask, who is this guy? Who's this freak with his face all marked up with war paint? I'm a champion wherever I go. I am legitimacy for AOW. Because I don't just step in front of the cameras, I step in the ring. So, you can come at me with whatever you want, Canadian Crippler. Because at the end of the day, Valhalla Bomb, Valkyrie Driver. 1, 2, 3. The American Viking puts down the Canadian Crippler. And Ragnarok comes to AOW. And after I'm done going through you, I'm going to the next round. And whoever wins that match, I want you to know one thing. What comes next isn't personal. It's prophesized. Welcome to Ragnarok. And welcome to Sin.
Well, well, well. CT Hellion. Who? I never heard of you before. Who the hell are you anyway? But I did watch your little promo in the Fatal 4-Way match, and I got one thing to say. What the hell does the CT stand for anyway? Can't talk? 'Cause I couldn't understand half of what you said. Now you come in here and you talk about all the belts you've won in all the other groups. I don't give a shit. This is the Arts of Wrestling. This is the Crippler's house. And you haven't done shit here. You need to pay your dues here, little man, just like everybody else has. You need to get in line. Get to the back of the bus. The short bus, by the looks of it. Now you claim to be a bump in the night? Well, when I run all over top of you, you'll be more like a speed bump to me. And you also say that God will protect me. God won't have to protect me. I am a god. But I kind of feel bad for you, little man. I really do. It's kind of dark in your promo, son. Maybe you can borrow Dennis's little flashlight and some batteries from him. I know he's got plenty. That way we can see you better during your next promo. On second thought, maybe that's not such a good idea. You claim that you will shed blood in this tournament. Hell, the Canadian Crippler has been spilling blood before you were even a gleam in your daddy's eye. So remember this little piece of advice, boy. Blood will spill and bones will break, and they'll be yours, CT. Damn it! Blood will spill and bones will break.